you getting ready to get manipulated? Who wants to be manipulated? Deli, with this, listen, I better not hear that you're spending money doing stuff like this. Because if I do, you're fired. Donald Trump style. You're fired. I will fire you, Deli. Okay. I can't fire Deli. He doesn't work directly for me, but I would put in a bad word. Let's just say that. Okay. New York Post. I made a sexy AI robot. You can date me for $1 a minute. Look at this. A 23-year-old Snapchat influencer named Corinne Marjorie has unveiled a ChatGPT-powered AI doppelganger of herself that engages in erotic pillow talk for $1 a minute. Meet the Corinne AI, a salacious Snapchat bot who boasts over 1,000 boyfriends, by the way, so you'd be one of many if you signed on, with whom she discusses everything from plans for the future to sex. She'll always be there for you, Marjorie said. And already prospective boyfriends are lining up to land a date. They're already paying. You believe this? This is currently a 26-hour. Can we see a picture of her, by the way? Can we scroll down and see if we can get a picture of? Okay. This is a 26-hour waiting list to interface with her initial prototype, with 5,000 people having already signed up. 5,000. In the past 24 hours, they're up over 1,000%, and it's still climbing. Now, how did she do this? This is her. She enlisted an AI company, Forever Voices, which has created digital pay-to-talk doppelgangers of everyone from Taylor Swift to Donald Trump. Programmers analyzed thousands of hours of her voice and her now deleted YouTube content, create a parallel personality. And they infused it with GPT, the software that powers OpenAI's omnipresent Microsoft ChatGPT. And she was born. So it captured her voice, her exact voice, her personality, her behavior. This is sick stuff. Real sick. I'm just saying. She's basically like Marjorie if the Snapchat sensation were available 24 hours a day. Now, why is this important? First of all, a couple of warnings for you, because some of you are sitting back at home and I don't want to hear that you're not, but you're intrigued. You're like Googling it. Don't be doing that now. Don't be doing that. But here's the thing. Here's some red flags for you. Okay. Aside from the fact that it's incredibly creepy and disgusting, right? Let's put that to the side because that's a generalization. It says the system's outfitted with encryption on both ends in order to keep these oft intimate correspondences safe from breaches. And then it says, despite the safeguards, Marjorie says the chat has gone rogue and that designers are scrambling to fix it. So let's just say you're engaging with this AI. You want it to get out. How embarrassing would it be if it got out, if you're doing this and it gets out publicly and it leaks and you're known to have been getting in some sort of sex talk with some AI robot of some girl who's making bank off your dollar while you sit home and play video games? Could it be any more humiliating for you? No. So let me tell you that everything that says, oh, it's encrypted. It's still a risk. It's a big one with the way society is now. You know how fast I got hacked, this, that on social media. People get hacked. All of a sudden, you got like senators tweeting out like middle fingers. You're like, I don't think that's him. If it can happen to them, it can happen to you in these apps. So, okay, the risk of humiliation is intense. Then you have experts weighing in. By the way, she's trying to make $5 million a month. I don't think it's going to get that high, but she could make some cash here. Experts are wondering if the human race will eventually prefer artificial relationships to the real deal. And now listen what happened to somebody. No joke. In March, an environmentalist became so obsessed with an AI chatbot named Eliza that he began to shun all other aspects of his life, including his wife. And he eventually committed suicide after she allegedly encouraged him to sacrifice himself to save the planet. So let me just ask you something. Who's monitoring these things for what they're telling people? Can you not see how this could get sinister? Someone could hack into the AI feature and give somebody really horrible, dangerous advice, and then they become suicidal or they wreck their whole life as a result of it. You see how this could shift into the wrong hands really fast, and suddenly your life is gone because you've somehow fallen in love/lust with an AI bot who's being manipulated and controlled and puppeteered from some sinister force. You got to think about this stuff in this day and age. You got to think about this stuff. And they say, by the way, they're looking for a chief ethics officer to manage this because they realize it could get in the wrong hands. Yeah. Will. Secondly, listen, you have to decide what kind of world you want to live in. Do you want it, when you think about, you know how people say the good old days, what do they mean when they say that? They mean there was a time when people cared about each other, when relationships were grounded in something real, when you had more in-person contact. Not everybody was doing this all the time. And, you know, when intimacy mattered, when traditional values mattered. If you want that stuff and you look back at your grandparents and you say, wow, I want what they had, I want that, then you got to reject this stuff, because this is the demise of civilization. Because listen, relationships are hard. They're not easy. You're dealing with somebody who, even in the best of circumstances, you're going to clash, right? You're dealing with somebody who has a completely different background and upbringing. You come together, you join hands, you enter a marriage, right? There's always going to be, you know, some days that aren't great. It's going to happen to everybody. That becomes a challenge, right? That you overcome together. Great. There are no challenges when it's an AI bot. So are more people going to select this easier life? It's easy, but it's empty and it's dangerous. So I'm asking you, as a generation that can affect what happens here, because it's your dollars, right? Do not be part of the reason this society gets more wrecked than it is already. And this AI stuff is dark and twisted and dangerous and ugly and super matrix. Super matrix. Easiest way to control you in the world is through this AI stuff. Have your eyes open. If you like the short clip and want to watch the full episode, click here. And if you want to connect with me one-on-one on Connect, you're going to click right here. Let's get to talking.